Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, as well as anyone that is going to watch the replay of our regular home-based business chat class. We are super excited. This will be our last one for this year, and we've had so much fun collaborating with different individuals and chatting about different aspects of why now is the best time to start really any type of business if it's going to solve a problem and fill a need, and why all the individuals here have chosen the field of health and wellness and the company that we love and is dear to our heart, Young Living. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sheila. She's going to share her story with us and answer those questions from her perspective. I'll share a little bit of my story, and then we'll get into some data for you guys.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for all of those who might be listening to the replay. I am so happy and grateful to have this opportunity to speak and share my story because it is just so exciting right now, the opportunity that people have. And I made that decision 10 years ago. And so before making that decision, to have a home-based business and to just put myself out there and get started, I was a product user. I was a product of the product for about 2 years. So altogether, I've been Young Living for 12 years, but for my first 2 years, I used the product and learned how to use the product religiously for every situation. I have 6 kids, my husband. It became the staple in our family for keeping us healthy and also keeping us just above healthy, if that makes sense at all. Like, we're healthy, but then there is a above the wellness line. We weren't just getting by. It was like really, really exceptional. That's not the word I want, but you guys know what I'm saying. Somebody give me that word if you think of it. It just excelled. That's a good word. And so I said, let me take a look at this business. And 12 years ago, 10 years ago, when I actually made that decision after using the product for 2 years, it wasn't like people were doing home-based businesses, of course. This industry has been around for a while, but now it is absolutely exploding. It is exploding. And we all know why. People are looking for an opportunity. And what happened with me is after I made that decision, started building my business, I experienced more life-changing things, not just on the health side anymore, but other life-changing things. And one of the main life-changing things that I experienced is the personal development that happens when we are our own boss, right? We can't really hide behind anything. We have to step it up. We have to step up. And I learned to step up and step up little by little, increments, nothing major all at once, but the combination of everything flowed into every area of my life. It flowed into my relationships with my children, with my husband. It flowed into relationships and learning how to deal with all kinds of different people. It turned into learning how to be positive. It turned into learning how to be grateful for every single situation. And so the changes that it wrought in me were just something that I never really expected as you go on to be successful in your business. And so now look at the atmosphere around us. People are looking for solutions now, I think more than ever. People are looking for hope. How can I make these changes? How can I make changes in my life? There's so many, one of the things we're calling this time right now, the unprecedented times. And we're calling it, times where we're not so certain, uncertain times, right? And it's no lie, it is those things right now. And in all this uncertainty that is around us, the lack of people feeling like we don't have control, this is something that can help give you your control back. A home-based business right now can help you get the control back in your finances. And that's one thing that happened with me. My finances got under control, as well as every relationship that I have, as well as getting new relationships. So these are the things that people are looking for. People are looking for community. You might be looking for community. You might be looking for some stability in your finances. You might be looking for some stability in your relationships, some control of your life again, to actually be able to have some control over your life. And that is why I think starting a home-based business right now is so super ideal. Gain control of your thoughts and your emotions and say, hey, I have something. I have a plan going into 2021. I have a plan going into 2021. I don't have to look back and stay in 2020. I can move forward with my plan in 2021. So I just wanted to share, that's a brief part of my story of just some of the changes that happened in my life that I know could be a part of, you're going to hear from some other people, the changes that happened in their life. And we don't have to change everything, but the areas that you choose to change, I truly 100% believe that this is a vehicle that can help you make those changes, that can help you have hope and control and a plan to move forward. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Anthony, I know you're not on the schedule, but I was just wondering if you want to share a brief version of your story and how really the Young Living business has changed your family's life.
Sure. So I will give the abbreviated version, but just to give you a little bit of background about myself, my wife and I had actually done network marketing some years ago when we first got married. This was like 10, maybe, yeah, about 8 to 10 years before Young Living came into our lives. So when my wife became involved with Young Living, she didn't even know that she was doing a business. I knew, but she didn't even know. And so in my mind, I always knew that the concept worked, and the concept was very interesting. I knew that it was one of the best ways to make money, but because of a bad experience that I had years ago, it just completely turned me off to it. But one of the things that I not only learned with time is, number one, that Young Living's products are some of the best products that we've ever used, but also how they have kind of woven in the network marketing infrastructure with their company in a very organic and natural way. That was so totally different than anything that I had seen with any other company before. So after I fell in love with the products, and my wife and I have been using them for 5 years now, it became only natural that I continue to share those products with individuals that we knew and loved, because they were just that good. And so I am like that. I don't want to say I'm the exception to the rule, but I think most men probably are or were a little bit apprehensive to become involved with a company where it's oils and health and wellness. But with a little education and a lot of love, I should say, from people around me and my wife, it really helped me to take a look at something that has changed the trajectory of our life substantially, even from a health and wellness aspect, but also from a financial aspect. In fact, it was becoming involved in this industry that forced me to learn about finances. And so I will put that out there, that if this is something that you're looking to be involved in, you can make a lot of money, but you're only going to benefit from that money if you know what to do with it. So just as important as it is to learn this wonderful industry of network marketing and Young Living, also be a good steward of your health and wellness, and be a good steward of your financial health. Because if you can't manage $50, you can't manage 5,000, 500,000, 50,000, or whatever. So we've been rocking and rolling ever since, and we love it here. That's the short version I'm going to give you guys. And And hopefully we'll get to chat and learn more about each other as we go. But I'm going to turn it back over to Tashena and allow her to push us back on.
All right, thank you so much so for those that do not know me, watching the replay and everything, I am Tashena Gonzalez, and I am an automotive professional. That's what I went to school, and I got a degree in business administration marketing. And I distinctly remember they saying that the best form of marketing is word of mouth marketing when I was in business school. And I always had an entrepreneur spirit. I'd done a couple of network marketing companies in the past. The first one had some unethical practices that went under. The second one, I never had an emotional connection with those products, and I just couldn't get with the hotel style, bringing people. It just never took off for me. But I did have an amazing time with their self-development program. And it changed my head, just like Anthony. I knew that network marketing worked, and I knew that I wanted to be type business. I just thought that network marketing wasn't for me. And so in my head, I thought one day I'm going to do real estate or whatever. I'm going to get into something to get my B type business, to get my other streams of income. And that one day never really came. But then in 2012, I started to have a myriad of health issues after health issues. So again, in the automotive industry, we're not really into, we're not the typical crunchy homeschool mom that Young Living attracts. However, and we do exercise, try to eat good once in a while, but we sustain ourselves with 3 cups of coffee and neon colored energy drinks, and we get into our 30s and we either have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, and we just accept it like that, start to have heart problems, and we just accept it because that's what happens to everybody. But for me, the things came into my life fast and furious, and it was too much for me to handle. So first I got high blood pressure, then I had some gut issues that kept me in and out of the emergency room the entire summer of 2012. I then started to have hormone issues where I was excessively bleeding. I had to have a minor surgery for that. Also was in 2 accidents in a span of 6 months. And then I already had skin issues and asthma and allergies that I'd been accepted as part of my life and the way that I had to live. And after all of that, of course, I was feeling depressed because there were so much things that were going on in my life. And so I was looking for solutions. I talked to everyone around me, my age, and almost all of them were having hormone issues or already had body parts taken out in their early and mid 30s. Almost all of them had body pain, and almost all of them had mood issues. And I just thought, this is not the way that we should be living whatsoever. And I'm going to find a solution to it. So I was trying to Google my way to good health in 2014. I started eating better. I did a boot camp and lost 20 pounds in a short amount of time, in 6 weeks in that boot camp. The way that I eat and how I exercise was very well shaped by that. And I started buying like $200 worth of vitamins and supplements from Vitamin World or Amazon or all these different places. And most of them didn't work. They weren't effective. And I had a couple of friends who were on Facebook stating, I'm diffusing lavender and it smells amazing. And I was like, whatever. I bought a couple essential oils from Amazon. They didn't work. Essential oils don't work. But because of part of what I was going through was very emotional, and I had became very introverted from being so sick. I went to a home party to support one of my friends because I needed to spend more time. I didn't even know if I was going to go that day because at the time I was still excessively bleeding. I was iron deficient, even though I was taking supplements for it. So I marked maybe to this class, and it was like, if I feel like I have enough energy, I'm going to go, and went to a class to learn about essential oils with the intention of not buying them whatsoever because they didn't work. Panaway was placed on my body and relieved some tension that I had. And I was like, this is different. And everyone needs to know. My stepmom and my sister, who's Anthony's wife, they're kind of they're more crunchy than me. They're kind of into this stuff. They're going to do this no matter what. So I didn't have my money to buy my kit that day, but I booked my home party knowing that I had found something different. I had found the thing that I was searching for, that I knew somewhere in the natural world there would be some things that were going to help me. And I was trying to Google for 6 months to find it on my own. I stumbled upon this company and it accelerated my learning. And now I'm a certified holistic wellness coach and a certified self-development coach. And I've been able to add to all the education, but the majority of the education that I got was from the classes that we had and the doctors and the amazing people that have been doing this, like Sheila, for over 10 years, that have accumulated so much knowledge. And so for me, it was natural for me to share, because within a month, I had like 3 things that were majorly changed in my life. 2 weeks after that, I started using an emotional protocol that included joy that tremendously helped my mood. Joy was just super, super amazing. And I've seen complete strangers that have been almost hysterical, and I've been able to give them joy, and they've pulled it out of them. So the power of the essential oils for emotions was just unprecedented. And 2 weeks after that, I was using our Ninja Red, our superfruit red juice, and that completely changed my energy levels and my mineral levels and my vitamin levels. So because of all those things happening within a month, I had to share with other people. And being able to share with other people has tremendously changed my life. It has allowed me to give more to other people. And I've been able to travel all over tax deductible and experience so many things. And then, as was mentioned by a couple of people, the self-development aspect of it too, how I have grown and how I've been able to grow emotionally and become like a certified coach has been so helpful. So there's so many ways in which it has changed my life. And that's why we shared with other people so that they can experience the same. So with that, I'm going to share the PowerPoint presentation and go into some of the statistics and the data that we want to share with you guys. So again, this is why now is the best time to start a business and why a home-based business might be a great place to start. We already talked about my story. So I just love this slide because it's so simple and so powerful. These are companies that were created between 2008 and 2010, which we here in the United States refer to as the Great Recession. Now, how many of these do you recognize? How many of these do you use? I use WhatsApp all day long every day. I use Instagram all day long every day. It is the main way that I connect and communicate with people. Once we got into, we're doing this presentation at the end of 2020. Once we got into the situation in March in 2020, all of a sudden I was thrown in a bunch of Instagram groups and WhatsApp groups because it made it more convenient to share events and things of that nature that I never was in before. And I have friends that on here that are in other countries, and the main way that we communicate is through WhatsApp or Instagram. Venmo is a payment system that is used by many people. Square is also another payment system. If you go to any corner coffee shop, you probably, and you saw that little white thing to check out with, you probably checked out with Square and you didn't even know it. Groupon is my favorite way to get some new self-care in. I want to try this new little salt room or another massage person. I'm going to go on Groupon and I'm going to find a discounted way to do it. Pinterest, most women are in love with Pinterest. I pretty much usually just download quotes from there. Some of the quotes are usually there, but most people, women love and spend a lot of time on there. And Uber is the only way that I travel if I'm traveling by myself. I don't really like to rent cars because if I don't know the area, I can get lost fairly easy. I have a good sense of navigation, but if it's my first time there, I'm just gonna Uber or Lyft myself all over the place. So again, these companies were created in a time when people were in a recession, when people were losing, but they found needs and they were able to win big because their companies filled those needs. So why network marketing? Again, we know most people have had a bad experience with it. We know that most people have a bad taste in their mouth. But when implemented correctly, there are so many benefits to network marketing. So what are some of those benefits? You can build it part-time, anytime, and from anywhere. So before we were in this situation, I am an extreme extrovert. I love to be in person with people. I love to talk to people in person. When I'm communicating with people, I think the communication is better when I can see your body language and all that, which I can only see from here up on Zoom. I would much rather be in person. Before, we did 3 classes in person and we did 1 online. When we went into the situation, we were forced to do everything online and we did not miss a beat. we still have 4 classes or more per month because we were able to convert every single class to an online version. It might not be as extensive. For example, our next class that we have after this is our monthly spa party. On Sunday, we're able to do virtual spa parties. If people get in touch with us 8 days in advance, we mail you out the samples, you sit on Zoom and you do it yourself, whereas we used to do it in person. So that is a benefit that you can truly build it anytime and from anywhere. Anthony and my sister Dana, they were out in Utah for a month and they didn't miss a beat with anything in their business because you can build it from anywhere. And I have a full-time job currently, so I share with this in the time that I have left. You can launch it for as little as $200 to $1,000. This is, we're talking about any network marketing in general, but with the company that we love and represent here, usually people do it for $200 or less. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So you are your own boss. However, you have all these resources and tools and individuals that are helping you. Your business partners have a vested interest in you. The way that you succeed is by helping other people. That is the only way that you can succeed. When I sit down, I have weekly coaching with corporate and I talk about my goals. What I talk about is my leaders and which one of my leaders I'm helping to reach their next levels. That's how I set my goals based on theirs. You can create enough tax deductions alone to make it worthwhile. This is one of my favorite things. In 2008, at that time, I was married. My then husband lost his job and my job was in jeopardy. And we were at the point of losing our house. And so I made a decision to increase my income. In 5 years, I more than doubled my income. I started making 2.5 times. Now, if I would not have had a business, which I started halfway through that process, a lot of my last raise that I got would have been eaten all up by taxes. I've been able to have so many amazing tax deductible vacations. Of course, consult your financial advisor for your situation and what is tax deductible and what is not. But that is one of my favorite benefits at my level. You can learn it while you earn it. So when I went to school to get a business administration degree in marketing, I went to school for 4 years and I didn't make anything during that. Here, you can get on an online, you get your member number, you get on an online system within 3 days, and you start sharing what right away. And you can continue to learn on that online system and earn at the same time. So much better than going to college. You can earn an extra $500, $1,000, $5,000 or more a month. And we have people on this call that all make that. With time and success, your income will be produced by hundreds, perhaps thousands of individuals. So here's some network marketing myths. These are some things that can help individuals, can give them blocks to actually getting started and saying, no, I don't really want to do that thing. Getting in on the ground floor is the best path to success in a network marketing company. As an individual that has a business degree, the best time to get into any company is not on the ground floor. It's not in the beginning. It's actually in the implementation rise phase or the maturity phase. And Young Living is in the maturity phase and they're growing. So now is the best time to get involved in the company. Network marketing is an opportunity for someone who is not doing well financially to make a lot of money. This is a myth because it's a half truth. It is very true that there are individuals that are high school dropouts that are not educated that have done well financially. But network marketing is also an opportunity for someone like me who is doing financially well, but they want to have more time freedom. My goal is within the next 6 months to arrange my finances to get rid of my day job so that I can have more time to help more people. There are so many people that I need to help in the area of emotional wellness and physical wellness, and I want to have more time to do that. Network marketers succeed by being in the right place at the right time. Again, now is the best time to get involved and you are paid on your efforts. The big guys make all their money off of the little guy. This simply is just something that is repeated. It's not true whatsoever. You definitely get a percentage off of the individuals on your team. It's a small percentage, but if you choose to create more teams, than the person above you, then you will get a bigger paycheck than the person above you. You are paid on your efforts. Now, this is just a slide to show us that there's many names for network marketing, multi-level marketing, direct sales. There's lots of names, and there is an actual organization called the Direct Sales Organization, and they track this, and they track how much money is out there. And so this is a viable industry with regulations, with organizations to track. And as you can see here, there's the money that is being made. 85 billion in this industry in Asia, 38 billion in Europe, 36 billion in North America, 27 billion in South America, and 1.8 in Africa. So the question is, how much of that do you want? Because the money is there. And now, why health and wellness? So there's so many different network marketing companies that you can choose. You can choose to be in the area of technology. You can have some type of tangible product like bags. But why might you want to think about health and wellness? Well, the global wellness market reached approximately 4.75 trillion in 2019, and it has a growth rate of 7.4%. And it's very diverse. When you think about health and wellness, there's some things you may not have even thought about. Underneath this umbrella are things such as preventive, complementary medicine, wellness tourism, which we actually have like a spa in Ecuador, healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss, personal care, beauty, and anti-aging, physical activity. And Young Living has product lines that touch every single area of this. So why Young Living? Why have we all chosen Young Living as the premier and the best health and wellness company in our opinion? Well, Young Living owns their own farms. They are the only essential oil company that owns their own farms, and there are very few health and wellness companies overall that own their own farms. They have industry-leading research and testing, seed to sale promise unmatched in the industry. They have 25 plus years of experience in business with 10 plus years of research prior to being in business. They have low startup costs. We talked about on average, it can be 500 to 1,000, and yet they come in underneath that average. They have the largest selection of essential oils, oil-infused products, and toxic-free lifestyle brands. There will be many times where it's the end of the month and individuals will come in my inbox on the 28th, the 29th, 30th, the 31st, and they say, hey, I'm trying to reach a goal. Would you mind buying this makeup from me? Would you mind buying this green vitamin for me? And I'll be like, I already have that. Like, I have everything in my business. Like most other companies, all of the product lines that we have, I have pretty much everything that they have. And then this is just to show what the income potential is with Young Living. Anthony told part of his story and how his finances have been changed at the executive level, which is really our goal for everyone on this team, is to reach that level so that they could get their household products paid for. But even when you start out at the distributor level, the average is around $26. The next level after that, average is $75. The level of senior star after that, the average is $235 per month. Executive is around $425, a little bit more. And silver, which is the level that I am, the average is $2,000 per month. Gold, which is what I'm working on right now, the average is $5,600 per month. And platinum, which is the level that Sheila's at, the average is $14,000 per month, and it continues to go up from there. The important thing, again, though, is making sure your health and wellness is affordable. And that's why we encourage people to share, at least with their friends and family, and try to get to that executive level, and or being able to replace the income if you so choose, like is my goal, at the gold level. And that is what we had to share with you all today. I don't know if there's anyone else that wanted to. Sheila, a lot of times you like to reiterate some points at the end, or Anthony, if there's anything else you want to share.
Just wanted to get my lighting good. Well, thank you so much, Tashena, for that presentation and making things like so clear and spelled out. And I know people may have some questions, so whoever sent you this video to watch, get back with them. There's going to be questions, but we have answers and we have solutions. And I think the last part that I'd like to end with is really an invitation to just try it, to just come on board. I think I don't know, I kind of laugh at myself, but I kind of think that people think, oh, if I do this, it's like, I can't do anything else. This is like gonna be, I'm making this lifelong decision. Well, I made a lifelong decision, but it didn't become lifelong until after I tried it. I tried it, and then I said, okay, yeah, this is it. You may or may not decide that this is it, but you can just decide just to try it to see if this is a solution for you. Because I know that either you are or you know a lot of people who are looking for solutions right now. And so it's easy to try and see if this is a good fit for you. Not just this industry, but specifically Young Living and our products. And I mentioned that for 2 years I used the product. I became a product of the product. And I learned how wonderful these products were. And then on the other side, the other product is the opportunity to earn money, sharing about how wonderful these health products, these products that will help, health giving products is what I wanted to say, will help you. So it's a decision that I made, and all of us have made at some point. We just said, hey, it's a decision, but it's also not written in stone. And I'm not trying to deter you, but I'm saying just pick up the ball, try it, and then you can make the decision if it's something that's right for you. But you won't really be able to make that decision, a well-informed decision, unless you try it first. So that's sort of my, I guess, my advice to people. It's a sweet life. It really is. And all through COVID, it was, it has blessed me tremendously, even though there are so many things going on in the world. I still experience so many blessings. And I know everybody here who are a part of Young Living can say that they also experienced so many blessings during this time. And I know it was in part because of what Young Living has provided for us.
Sheila, before I turn it over to Anthony, and then Anthony, I want you to kind of answer this too. Can you just explain how really Young Living has been able to fund some of your other passions that you have? So maybe there's people that might watch this and they say, but my passion is way over here. My passion is travel. So I mean, I don't know if I really want to, with the health and wellness thing, like how has Young Living helped fund some of your other passion and streams of income? And then Anthony, if you can incorporate that to what you say after Sheila.
Sure. So I do a number of things besides Young Living in terms of, we have a family business, and our family business is a horse stable business. And there was, it actually just kind of come upon us as a foreclosure. And we were like, my daughter used to ride horses, and actually used to ride horses at this very facility that went into foreclosure years after she stopped riding. And as a teenager, and now as an adult, she's like, yeah, let's buy this business. And so we went in together, and my daughter's also in my Young Living business as well. And so, it's nothing that we would have even ever considered if I did not have this other stream of income through Young Living coming in as well. So we were able to say, it wasn't so much that it's a passion, it literally was an investment. It's an investment that will probably flip. So we just started with it. But we used the freedom that I have in Young Living, first of all, the time freedom, to be able to then work in a not just a home-based business, but then a brick and mortar kind of a business, right? And it availed all of my family, my daughter to be able to do that and become a part of that, my husband to be able to become a part of that, because we have that Young Living time freedom. as well, right? And then also some of the things, I became a recent author. And so that helped to fund that passion. And that's more of my passion. That's not something I'm going to flip. I'm going to keep going with this author thing. And so that's another area that having Young Living has helped me to be able to go into these multiple streams of income. And so it is, let's say you have a passion that you either want to fund or want to do alongside of Young Living, or bring Young Living alongside it. It's so easy because of the products that we have to be able to bring it alongside. So if your passion is health and wellness, if you're a coach, you can bring a Young Living alongside of that and be, and Young Living can help you grow that business. And let's say you're a coach, a health coach or something, that can help you fund your Young Living business. So they go together. And so it's just, there's numerous ways, but that's some of the ways that it's helped me. But the main point is the fact that your Young Living income, as you start to bring it in, either at the beginning, as you're starting, you can do it alongside what you're doing. And then when you are starting to bring in a certain amount of income, it can also fund your passion. And I just want to say one last thing about that, which is I know a Young Living distributor who her heart and her passion was to help people with the adoption process and actually help match up people, but also help them be able to afford to adopt. And she uses her Young Living business and the money she brings in to support that ministry so that she can help people be able to afford to adopt. And that's another area, an area of giving. It helps you in an area of giving, not just receiving, but also an area of giving.
Okay. Thank you, Sheila. I just want to add to that because one of the things that was mentioned was just the beauty of being able to start part-time. And I think that's really phenomenal when you think about it, because I know for me, I'm very much a creative person. So whether something like Young Living is your passion or not, uh, we all may have certain goals that we're trying to achieve. So I'll give you an example. For my wife and I, not only do we want to pay off our place, but one of my goals 2 years ago was to purchase one of my dream cars, which was a Tesla. And I did that this year, earlier this year. I think of like when you set goals and how you kind of work backwards. A lot of goals that we set, we may not achieve sometimes because there's a financial barrier. And so when you think about it from that aspect, we're limited on what we can make in our 9-to-5 job. The only way that a person might say that I can get more money is to get a second job. But they're still not going to pay you what you're worth, and you're still capped by time. So when I look at all of the goals that not only Dana and I have, but also even my personal goals, things that I like to purchase, a lot of that is funded through my network marketing business with Young Living. And so I would say to that is wherever you want to be in 5 years, work backwards and see how Young Living fits into that picture. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in, a lot of problems in some aspect are linked to some type of financial struggle or turmoil. So if you could help mitigate some of that or get finances as a problem out of the way, you'd be free to pursue most of your passions. I also think it's another thing that's interesting is if you increase the income of your family household by $500, for a lot of people, that's very substantial. That's life-changing money. That's either helping to pay a portion of the mortgage, or that's paying your car note, insurance, or gas, or what have you. That eases up a lot of stress in the household. So starting part-time and even working up to executive and silver, at silver and Young Living, that's life-changing. At executive, that's life-changing. So I encourage you, even if you've been around for a while or if you're starting today, start now. Because as as you continue to grow and that money continues to grow with it, you'll notice that you'll have a little bit more financial freedom and a little bit more flexibility. So I hands down love that about our industry. I love it about our company, because as it was mentioned, we're primed for the perfect time for growth and expansion, especially with everything that's on people's mind. People are interested in their health and wellness, and they're looking for other options. So now is the time. Now is the time. But yeah, that was my 2 cents that I wanted to add. And I'll turn it back over to Tashena.
Thank you, thank you. And just when you think about the community aspect too, the ability to leverage, honestly, whatever skills that you have is super amazing. So there are things that are a natural fit, like chiropractors. Okay, yes, chiropractors, massage therapists, they're going to use essential oils. But there's things like being an esthetician or being a personal trainer, where we do have product lines that fit in there. And then there's other things like having technical skills. In order to run a business, there's a lot of technical skills. There's a lot of what we call micro work, or just little work that needs to be done. So for example, I have a text messaging service. That's not something that I want to do. That's a technical skill. It has nothing to do with the actual products, but there are lots of people in Young Living who that is their passion. So they can do Young Living here, and they can leverage the Young Living community and use their technical skills. So there's so many ways that you can benefit. Like Sheila, I have 3 books in my head that I can't write because I have a daytime job. And so that's why it's essential. Like there's people that are asking me, we can't wait for your book to come out, but I don't have time to write it yet. So that's why me getting my time is super essential. So if there's any other questions that anyone might have at this point in time, we can open it up to the questions or anything else anyone wants to add. And if not, then yeah, just reiterating what Sheila said. If we think back to that first slide, right? The slide of the companies, some of them that became billion-dollar companies in 2008 to 2010, they had to make the decision to start. So if you are watching the replay, or if you're here, and if you're new, then you just have to ask, okay, where do I get educated? The first step is just to get educated about the products. And then if you have a sister, brother, mom, cousin, best friend that you love, that you would like to share with, you can ask, how can I share with those people? What's the best people that I can share with? And if you are watching the replay and you haven't joined the Young Living family, your first step would be to join the Young Living family. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us. The replay will be available on my YouTube channel for anyone that was late and for anyone that would like to share it with another individual. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Have an amazing evening and weekend. Goodbye, everyone.